Hi guys, this is Dormouse03, and this is The Evil Within, Akumu difficulty, Chapter 3. And this is the beginning of the level, and I've sped this up a little bit for you guys just because there's going to be a large section here at the beginning where I'm just sort of running around collecting stuff before the real action kicks off. So what I did was I put syringes into my arm until my health is full, and there it shall remain for the rest of the game. And then I'm going to pick up all this stuff. I did get some of the items from my, I guess the little insert that came with the game. So I have that double barrel shotgun, and a couple of bolts for the crossbow that I haven't picked up yet. I will be using that shotgun here in this chapter, but I probably will not be using it all that much throughout the playthrough, just because you can't upgrade it. So it's cool for right here at the beginning of, when you get to use it, because it does, I think I've read that it does twice the damage of the normal shotgun, but then it can't be upgraded. So I'll definitely be prioritizing the other shotgun over that one, and I don't know, whenever I use it, just know that it might take a couple extra shells for you to deal the same amount of damage if you don't have that shotgun. But the strategy will be the same, and I only use it in this chapter on the boss at the end. And there are definitely enough shells to be able to hit him twice the amount of times that I actually do. So just be aware of that. There are a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in these two houses right here, and I'm just sort of running around and picking that up here at the beginning while there's no enemies that are spawned in, because until you go to the place where the doctor is, none of the enemies spawn in. So I'm sort of taking advantage of that to go ahead and grab some stuff and disarm some traps and just sort of remember this area, get the lay of the land, break the windows so that I can go in them if I get into a situation where I need to pick up all the upgrade gel, pick up all the stuff, and get prepared for this chapter, because it's going to be a long one. I'm going to try, well, I act like I haven't done it yet. I did stealth this entire thing, pretty much. There were a couple of situations that I got into where I needed to do some bottling of people in the face, but that was fairly rare. So on the floor in the room where you go to save, there's map fragment number 4. And that's the only map fragment for this chapter. There will be 4 statues that we'll get. And then there's these couple of little collectibles here as you go into the save room. And now I'm going to go ahead and use some of the upgrade gel that I've picked up from Chapter 2 and the very beginning of Chapter 3 to upgrade a couple of things here. So, like I was saying in the previous chapter, I'm prioritizing a few different things. So you saw that I just upped my sprint. I got some damage and some clip capacity for my handgun, and then I believe I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to be able to hold 10 matches as well. And then grab a critical on my pistol, because you'll notice that for the criticals, there's when you haven't upgraded it at all, there's 0% chance that you will actually kill them with a headshot, which is kind of ridiculous. And so if you put an upgrade into those criticals, you will have at least a chance that when you shoot them in the head, they will die.
Where are you taking me?
So in any case, obviously you should prioritize the things that are important to you, but those are the things that are priorities for me. And when I get a few more of the weapons, it's going to be important to upgrade the capacity and stuff for the crossbow and the shotgun and all that as well. And so this is the introduction to this room, and so we can use our 2 keys that we picked up. And then I'm just showing you a couple of cuts here. I went and disarmed these 3 traps, and you see how tiny that sliver is. Folks, this game, it's like it's trying to troll you or something, because I mean, look at that. It's unreal. The even more unreal thing is that I disarmed all 3 of these things and saved in between each one of them, just in case. There were the 2 in the first house, and then there's the 3rd one in this house right here. And I saved in between every single one of them so that I wouldn't, lose the progress on them if I messed it up, which is, probable that you can do. And incredibly enough, I did not mess any of those up. I can't say that for later on, but for those 3 first ones, I got them all in a row, which was crazy, and I was like, something is wrong here. I cannot disarm traps that well. But I guess it was the 3 the 3 free ones or something at the beginning. I don't know. It was maybe the pressure was off because I knew that I had saved in between them, and so I was like, whatever, if I mess this up, it doesn't matter. And so, of course those were the ones that I got, but when it comes to under pressure, I am definitely not going to be worrying about disarming those. But anyway, now we've met up with the doctor, and you have to go through a couple of little forced dialogue sections with him, and you'll notice that you see that hooded guy there, and that enemy type did not show up until chapter 11 in survival, but here he is in chapter 3. And that enemy is pretty annoying, because if he sees you, he'll do this scream, and then I mean, you guys know because you've played through the game before, I would assume. If you're doing it on this difficulty, you had to. But for anybody who maybe hasn't played the game yet and is just checking these out to see how hard this mode is going to be, that enemy, when he sees you, he will scream, and then there's this attack where these hands come up and sort of chase you, and if they hit you on any difficulty, it's a one-hit kill. It's, of course, a one-hit kill on this difficulty, because everything is a one-hit kill on this difficulty, but that is actually a one-hit kill on any difficulty that you're playing on, so be aware of that. And the fact that that guy is going to be sort of patrolling the middle up there, so we don't have to worry about him quite yet. But now the real fun begins. So there's your checkpoint, there's the crossfade, because I died a couple times perfecting this strategy. So what I did was, there's going to be 2 guys. I don't know why on earth I picked up that bottle. That was ridiculous. But come in here immediately and hide under this bed, because there's going to be 2 guys that come into this room, and you can sneak kill both of them. But you need to get out of dodge right away, because they will see you if you are, in this room or near this room or standing outside the window to this room at all. So, but if you hide under this bed, the shotgun guy with the mask will go down the stairs. He's got a sawn-off shotgun. And this guy has a torch. And so they're both pretty dangerous. But if you wait, the one guy will go down the stairs, and then you can sneak kill this guy when he turns around. Pick up his torch just in case things go badly with Mr. Shotgun Mask Dude. But if you come up here, you can hear him milling around down there. And if you hang out on this ledge, or it's not really a ledge, but it's the edge of the staircase. So you're not actually on the staircase. You're sort of hovering above it and are able to kind of see down into that area and kind of watch for him. Because he is patrolling around down there. So there he is. And you want to kind of wait for him to turn around. And then you can go after him. You want to be careful and sort of move to his right. Because there's a chance that, if you're too far to the left, he'll be able to see you out of his peripheral vision there. They have really good peripheral vision in this game, let me tell you. So that's those two enemies dealt with. And after that, I went and I saved. I saved a lot during this, guys, and I would recommend that you do the same. The checkpoints are a little weird. Sometimes it takes forever for you to get one. Other times, I've killed like 2 enemies in a row and gotten 2 checkpoints. So it's a little weird, and I think it's to do with once you kill specific enemies or something, they're set to give you checkpoints. I'm not quite sure. But after you kill those first 2 guys, that's house number 1 cleared, and now we're going to worry about clearing house number 2. So there are 3 enemies that you have to deal with in here. Again, if you hide under this bed, you'll see there's first a lady, or someone. I think the skins on these guys are random a little bit, but it was always the same 3 people in this house for me. There was the lady that went through the door, there was this axe guy, and I wait until he's out of the door frame. Because when I've gotten out of the bed just after he turned around, and he's turned around and seen me. So I wait for him to actually leave the room before I sneak up behind him. And then if you wait right here at this window, it seems a little dangerous because she's going to bust back through that door and she's going to stand like right to the side there. And if you are the nervous type, you're going to get real nervous right here. But she cannot see you if you're at the window where I am. She's going to turn around. And again, I'm going to wait for her to move out of the door before I move behind her. And the reason for that is because, again, I have done it where I started moving as soon as she turned around, and she was in the door frame and just turned around and saw me and slapped me with a knife and killed me. So, I did this part a few times and seemed to get it so that, the patterns that I'm showing you should be effective. It seems like timing is extremely important, and if you don't move at exactly the right time, they can see you with their peripheral supervision that they seem to have. So this guy that patrols down here moves just sort of back and forth, and you want to kind of make note of his pattern. And so I back up the stairs here as he comes toward me, and then he's going to stop and he's going to turn around, but you don't want to go after him right when he turns around. Again, he's going to tilt a little bit to the left, and after he sort of tilts to the left, right there you can see him do it. As soon as he goes back and turns back straight, then you can go in for the kill. But if you don't wait until he does that little side tilt, he'll see you as you move off the stairs. So that's the 3 of those guys. That is house number 2 cleared. I went and saved once again. And now we're going to be continuing on with this area. So houses 1 and 2 are down. You see these people, there's like 4 of them hanging up right there. You can burn them with matches, and I believe that will keep them from spawning in a little bit later on. I'm not 100% sure if all of them spawn in, but I'm pretty sure at least 2 or 3 of them do. And so you can save yourself a little bit of hassle if you go ahead and burn them with matches while they're hanging up right there. But I chose to not do that because my goal for this chapter and for a lot of these beginning chapters is to conserve as much stuff as I can. I want to build up my capacity to hold things, and I want to get as many of them as possible because these are going to be the easiest levels on the game. Because you can do a lot more of this stealth stuff, and you don't have to burn a lot of your ammo. And there's a match for this guy who is not dead on the ground. So if you sneak up to him and light him up with a match, he will die. So be careful of him. So anyway, as I was saying, for these sections where I know I can stealth kill and, use bottles to kill people and various other things like that, use the hatchets and the torches and all of those weapons that you can't really carry with you into the next level, I want to do that because I feel like the more ammo that I can save up, there's a statue to the left there, we're going to get that a little later, the more ammo that I can save up here during these first few chapters, the better off I'm going to be set up for chapters 5 and 6, where things start to get a little bit crazy. So, in any case, something amusing happens right now, and now this may or may not happen to you if you're following the same path that I have been. Everything else should have been pretty standard. Like all the kills that I've gotten so far in this level, you should be able to replicate if you do them like I did. But that guy was on the balcony, and he saw me coming down the ladder. And he's gonna be chasing after me. He's a persistent little bugger. You can see him coming out of the window right now, and he is on the hunt. He wants Sebastian's lovely neck flesh, and he is intent on getting it. But when he gets about right here, he stops and gets confused. He's like, "What happened? You went out of the range of my ability to chase you for some reason." And so he turns around. And so if that happens to you and that guy sees you and follows you down here, know that you can sort of get out of his range and then just, do your little long sneak up behind him. If you move too far into the middle of this area by this carriage, this is going to happen. That guy with the rifle shoots that box, and it just alerts you to the fact that there's a rifle guy there and you can't hang around in the middle of the area. So there's a little crossfade because I went back and saved once again just to, save the progress of collecting all that stuff and killing those couple of guys. Because now I'm going to be moving into another area, and the reason why I saved right then, normally I wouldn't have because I knew that there's a checkpoint once you move through this barn, but I saved there because I'm going to disarm this trap here. And it was a really good job that I did save at that point because I messed this up my first time and died. Because once again, those traps, they are unforgiving. Let's just put it that way. They are unforgiving. And I'm disarming them here in this chapter a little bit. Well, that one was specifically so I could go up this ladder. But the other 3 you don't really need to disarm, but I did because I wanted the trap parts. And once again, I feel like here, you know, it's a good level for it because you can save before you disarm the traps, you know, and you can make sure that you get the parts from it so that you can have some parts saved up for later. But anyway, there was our first statue and our first key of this level. You saw the other statue as I was going up the ladder in the tower in the middle of the area a little while ago, but I haven't gotten that statue yet. I'm going to get it a little bit later on once I clear out some more of the enemies. But because I will show you how to get it without wasting any ammo. So, come around, kick that ladder, and there is a bear trap right there, and I just saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not step on that? Because I didn't see it when I was going to kick that ladder down. So, it was a very good thing that I was hugging the corner there for whatever reason. I don't know, instinct or luck or whatever it was, but that kept me from stepping in that bear trap, which was just really, really good because I really didn't want to have to disarm that trap again. The spinny trap on the ladder, not the bear trap. The bear traps are easy to disarm. The only traps that suck to disarm are the spinny ones, and the acid traps, but only because they take a long time. So, moving on down this level, there's going to be a hatchet to your right as you come down this ladder, and that's going to be important. Make note of where that is for a little bit later on. I'm going to be using that to kill the hoodie guy. But right now, I'm going to move past that trap. I'm not going to worry about that one. I think that's the only one in this level that I don't disarm. And going to disarm the bear trap, and then I'm going to come up here, and here's our first chest of the game. To disarm the trap on this one, you just want to open it about halfway and then let it fall. And then you can disarm the trap. You will get a flashbolt, trap parts, and shotgun shells. So a very nice haul from that right there. And as you move up here, there are going to be two guys that are laying on the ground. And you can burn one with matches, but when you burn one with matches, the other one will get up. And you'll see that you get a checkpoint when you burn the first guy. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to burn this first guy, and you'll see the guy behind him will get up. See, there's the checkpoint, and here's going to be the crossfade because I died after getting that checkpoint. And respawn here in the middle of the area. That will be where you respawn when you respawn from a checkpoint. Every single time, regardless of where the checkpoint was, you respawn right there. It's a little bit odd, but there it is. But you will see kind of the beauty of that is that when you respawn from your checkpoints, it resets all of the enemies back to where they were before the checkpoint. It puts them back into their patterns. And so the first guy that we killed when we got the checkpoint is dead, and the second guy is still laying here on the ground. So that checkpoint and dying allowed me to go back and just burn this guy on the ground, which makes things a heck of a lot easier. And so coming up toward the end of this video here, guys, I'm going to split this chapter up into a couple of parts because it is pretty long. There's a lot of sneaking. I know it's kind of slow, but this is definitely a way to get through this level using... I don't fire any bullets until the boss. And it's very conservative of munitions and items and stuff. So that guy comes down the way. He sees you every time when you go into that window. And so something funny happens right now. I go back down to pick up his torch and find out that he's not dead. That trap did not kill him for some reason. It's very strange. Generally the traps will kill them, but it did not kill him for whatever reason. There was another guy who busted through the door upstairs and was after me, and then here comes the torch guy who did not die from the trap. And so what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to sort of run from him. Here's a good strategy to get by these traps, is to sort of crouch, crouch, stand up, crouch, stand up, crouch, stand up. It helps you move past them pretty quickly, and that will be something that you'll need to be able to do later on when it's more important to get past traps. But I went up the ladder, and he did not see me go up the ladder, so he is going to move on out of this area and go and sort of reset to where he was before. And it takes him a while to get back around there. I believe in the next video you'll see that I go back into that house, and he's not upstairs just yet. So it does take him a little while to get back to his original position, but that's where he's headed, and he's not going to come back through the barn. So we're going to head down the ladder and continue this chapter in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you there.